The greatest podcast hosted by someone who knows so precious little about, almost everything. A journey into the mediocre mind of an exceptionally average person. This is Complaints and Observations with Dave LaPointe. Who the hell is Dave LaPointe?
All right. Thank you very much, Ken, as always, for the amazing introduction. It never gets old. I think I've listened to it 8,000 times, and it still brings me joy. So thank you very much. I am still Dave LaPointe. Happy Memorial Day to all 3 or 4 of you that will eventually listen to this. But I implore all of you to take some time today to remember those that have lost their life in service to our country. It is their sacrifice that allows me to talk into a microphone about pure nonsense without fear of repercussion or prosecution. So, please try to keep that in mind today. It's not just a day for hot dogs and booze. Also, I'm not sure if this is accurate, but please do not go up to veterans and wish them a happy Memorial Day. Now, I could be way off on this, but I don't think that's something that you should do, given that there's a Veterans Day and a Memorial Day, which are two different things. If you feel the need to bring it up, maybe you can ask about those that they served with them. It's a way to honor their memory, things like that. But going up to a veteran and saying Happy Memorial Day seems odd. However, given that I have never served, given that I am not a veteran, I don't know if that's accurate or not, or correct to do. Very well could be. I just don't know. That's the problem. Come from a long line of veterans in the family. My brother served, and my 2 uncles served. My dad was the youngest of 3, didn't serve. Probably because he wasn't allowed to, if I had to guess. The Sullivan Rule. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Sullivans. It's a dynamite song back in the 90s, which is still one of my favorite tunes. It's a great song. What was the name of the band? Caroline Spine. Terrible band name. Terrible band name. Great song. They had nothing else even remotely good, which was, they were the epitome of the 90s one-hit rock wonder. But I went off on a tangent. Anyways, my uncles, my grandfather also served. So, yeah. Anyways, back to the nonsense. Listen, jam-packed show for you today. Not really, but I've always wanted to say that. Jam-packed show. I've always liked radio, and when radio hosts say that, we have a jam-packed show for you. Gets me excited, I always wanted to be in radio. Don't really know why. And I don't think I could be with all the ums and ahs and the sniffling that I do here. But so much so that I attended a intro class at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting in Brookline. I think it was Brookline. And it felt more like a timeshare pitch than like an intro to a school, which was a huge turnoff and sort of led me to not do anything with it. Partially because of that, and then also partially because it was, at the time, radio was a very sort of saturated talent pool, if you will. There was a ton of people doing it, not enough jobs. Looking back on it, I wish I had tried and just rolled with it because, some of the crap that I hear on the radio now, especially especially in the, the side that I would like to get into or wanted to get into, which is sports radio. there's a ton of crap floating around sports radio, so it would have been fine. I like to think that eventually, maybe, but again, I didn't do it, so who the fuck cares? But everybody that still works in radio seems to say that radio sucks. A lot of them say it all the time, which I find odd. Never understood that. I mean, it's a declining medium. I understand the longing for a time in the not so distant past when it was exciting and a viable career choice that allowed you to earn a pretty good living if you were good at it. I mean, I guess now if you're good at it, you can still make a good living. Just depends on what you're doing. But it was just another one of these businesses these industries that took too long to adapt. And what they could have done was really got into the podcast game much sooner than some of these companies did. I mean, they had I would imagine that a lot of them had the ability to do so. They just chose not to, which was weird. Now they're playing catch up. So should have been at the forefront of this whole podcast nonsense. You're professionals, corporations. You would think, hey, we have the technology, the wherewithal. We should do this. No, I'm not going to do it. Which is weird. I don't know. Free ad. It's free ad time. Because I didn't do one on Thursday. So I wanted to get one out quickly. Free ad of the day. In-N-Out Burger. I don't care that don't really have anybody west of New Jersey listening to the podcast here, but the free ad is about giving recognition to shit that I like. Most of it is going to be food. I'm fat. At In-N-Out Burger, quality is everything. That's why in a world where food is often overprocessed, prepackaged, and frozen, In-N-Out makes everything the old-fashioned way. From the first bite of your burger to your last french fry, quality is the most important ingredient at In-N-Out Burger. We don't freeze, prepackage, or microwave our food. In-N-Out Burger. They make the best fucking fast food ever. And I was supposed to have some back in March in Vegas, right on the Strip, right next to the link. Great spot. I was looking forward to asking for my french fries to be a little bit well done, a little crispier. If I have any complaints, one is that the tomatoes are huge, almost too big. And for whatever reason, tomatoes on a burger just never does it for me. I don't know why, but they're always massive, just way too big, thick, and like the size of the bun. But I was going to ask for my fries well done. Would have been my assumption is that it would have been good. But yeah, and sure, the closest one to here is Dallas. But given that I dream about a double-double on the regular, I wanted to give him a shout-out. Just let him know. You'll never hear this, but I love you. So In-N-Out Burger. If you don't like it, fuck off. All right, so seeing as it is Monday, it is, time for 3 gripes. We'll get to that later. Wanted to talk a little bit about the weekend. Weekend was good. Another good one. I spent some time on the golf course on Saturday, which was great. Shot a completely legitimate 104, which isn't terrible for me. Front 9, garbage. Back 9, much better. At least I think. I don't know exactly. I wasn't keeping the scores. Somebody else was. And I'm trusting his math. But, it was good. Borrowed a push cart from last week's guest, my buddy Scott. Worked out nicely. I got to get that back to him. Probably tomorrow, Scott. I'll get it to you tomorrow. Also, destroyed some poor fools in trivia while heavily intoxicated, mind you. So that was fun. Hong Kong 97. Long live Hong Kong 90. Well, yeah, I can't really say that. It's weird. That was the answer to a question. Hong Kong 1997. Nailed it. It's great. What can you do? Also, Tom Brady isn't that good of a golfer, which made me feel great about myself. Sure, he's wealthy, handsome, and a very talented athlete, but he's afraid of his fucking driver too. So we are kindred spirits. You know, he did have that really nice shot. I think it was like the 11th hole, I think, 6th hole, 11th hole, I can't remember. He holed it from, I don't know, 160 yards, something like that. Pretty good. Pretty good. Also, I was told by a friend of mine who shall remain nameless, mainly because this is a terrible take, but he said that this podcast, quote, appeals mainly to men, end quote. I was taken aback by that. First of all, that wasn't my intention. Second, I don't really want that, if we're being honest. I don't want to be pigeonholed like that. It's terrible. I'd love to have more female listeners, selfishly for the diversity of topics that could be brought up. Now, I'm not a woman, so I can't complain about some of the shit that they would complain about, but I would like to think that some of my complaints are universal. Complain about jobs, commercials, friends. Am I supposed to believe that women don't complain about those things? That's fucking absurd. Patently absurd. So, I didn't like that. It was very unbecoming. And since today is Monday, and it is Three Gripes Day, I thought I would use one of those to talk about something that women would complain about, and then provide my insight. I went to Google to ask Google, hey, things that women complain about. First thing that pops up, 21 things women need to stop complaining about, and then in parentheses, according to men. And the article, air quotes, is written, also air quotes, by a guy who went to I was going to say ever knowing, but that doesn't work. I don't know where I was going with that, but that well of knowledge read it and created his list. He basically took 21 different complaints from dudes on Reddit and compiled this list. So it led me to a complaint that women may have. Guys, going back to that article, these complaints are literally taken from Reddit and counted down with zero input from the author. So this person literally went to Reddit, copied and pasted, added links, and that was it. I hope he doesn't get paid to do that, but if he does, good on the grift. It may very well be entirely sarcastic, but you wouldn't know because this person literally wrote nothing. There's no input from the author at all. Which makes me wonder, how the fuck did this thing get to the top of the search results on Google? That company that this gentleman works for, their SEO must be fucking spot on, because this thing, top of the list. Couldn't believe it. Anyways, first complaint was titled The Wage Gap, followed by a quote from a now deleted Reddit user. Quote, a non-existent wage gap. Baby, the only gap you've got is the only reason men speak to you. End quote. Clever, for sure. Douchey, for sure. There's 20 more gems just like that, and they're all equally as fucking stupid. So I can, I don't want to come off like, super feminist guy, because I don't think that's me, but at the same time, I don't think I'm a fucking moron. One of the other complaints here was literally childbirth. The guy from Reddit complained about women talking about how hard childbirth is. I mean, no fucking shit, Charlie. It's pretty tough. You don't think women should complain about that? How fucking stupid is that? According to one guy out there in the world, women need to stop complaining about the physical birthing of a human being. How the fuck is that even possible? What goes into some person's head and says, you need to shut the fuck up about childbirth? No one gives a fuck how hard it is to have a baby. I'm a fucking dude. Yeah, what the fuck? Please. And look, I'm sure that I'll be accused of pandering in the hopes of growing my audience, which you're mostly correct about. But I need some additional fuel, and I really feel that female listeners would provide some of that fuel. And as a guy, I'm just as guilty as the rest of us of saying and doing dumb shit on a regular basis, but I'm looking for specifics. Love specifics. Now, this gripe number 1 of 3 gripes is not a very specific gripe. It's a general gripe. It's just men. And I get that. Toxic masculinity that leads some douchebag on Reddit to say that women should stop complaining about childbirth. Hey, if it gets the guy through the day, I guess, whatever. But listen, ladies, what pisses you off? What annoys you? I need to know. 1, for my own well-being, and 2, for show content. Mostly 2. Let's get on the show. You can set something up. You can leave a voicemail. You can send an email, whatever. Let's grow this thing. Let's make this happen. Gripe number 2, completely different. Not really. It's actually, now that I read it, it's probably in the very same vein as just dudes. People who say they'd play professional sports for free. 99.98% of people who say that are dudes. Really clueless dudes, but, So, look, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You'd play with your friends in a beer league. You'd play softball. You'd fucking shoot hoops. You'd maybe play some hockey. Whatever. You would do that you do for, at most, 3 hours in any one particular day. But that's it. Because there's no way your fat ass is going to be committed enough to be a professional athlete. And then to do it for free? I don't think so. Now, look, the salary thing is a completely different argument. That has nothing to do with this. If you want to say that they make too much money, fine. But it's a free market. That's how this shit works. But this sort of stems from Major League Baseball currently getting in their own way, as they typically do. The owners have somehow turned the players into the enemy on the interwebs here, and now everybody's up in arms. Too many comments. Oh, I'd fucking play for free. You don't know how fucking lucky you are. You make a ton of money. Right. Mm-hmm. I'd love to be a pro athlete. Love it. But I'm not dumb enough to think that I would be able to actually do it for more than a week. Maximum. Think about it. 16-hour days of just practice. Practice. Not a game. Practice. There's also the strict diets, the even stricter schedules, a shitload of pressure, constant pressure to perform all the time, the massive amount of people that want something from you all of the time, your body having to go through shit that your body's not supposed to go through, and then these subsequent repairs needed to maintain said body. I mean, that's just a few things that just popped up and I wrote on the script. But now imagine doing all that shit for free. No, you wouldn't. If you want to say you'll do it for a day or a week, fine. But spare me with the whole, you guys are so entitled. Stop. As if being one of the 1,500 or so people on planet Earth good enough to make it to the major leagues. And you think that they get there just by snapping their fucking fingers. And look, I'm sure that there are some people who are professional athletes who are just straight up gifted, very little work, can fucking get up out of bed, go play a game, go out, get shithoused, get fucking ham-faced, and then go do it all again the next day with little to no work. I'm sure there are some. But using baseball as the example, let's say, and this number is not right, but let's say 1,500 or so people playing Major League Baseball, 32 teams. I used 50 as a number, and it comes out to like 1,600. So then I took it down to 1,500. And then there's the fringe guys, like right below that aren't good enough to get there. But let's just stick with Major League Baseball. The percentage of the world population that play Major League Baseball, 0.00000019. That is a minuscule number. You have to be in that percentage to get to the top of the mountain, so to speak. And then there's the business side of things. So you may seem that your willingness to play for free will keep people interested enough. Fuck, I cannot fucking talk. Man, that's so fucking stupid. Interested enough to actually spend money to watch your sorry ass play the sport. No. And you're saying this behind a computer screen or behind your phone because you're simply not good enough to get there. And for whatever reason, you can't seem to live with yourself. So just stop. There's no need for it. You wouldn't play for free. It's a fact. And again, the whole salary thing, totally different argument. For me, if you can get that money, get it. If you can get it from people that are way richer than you, get it. But stop. Gripe number 3. Being unresponsive. This is a longer conversation, I would imagine, but I'm trying to sort of narrow it down a bit. This really goes back to jobs again. But look, give me a fucking break. It's all I have going on right now is trying to find a job. Podcasting for 20 people isn't really paying the bills. So that's what, a lot of my time is spent doing. I had an excellent interview 2 weeks ago. Was very interested in the position. I thought the feeling was mutual. I was told there would be a second interview, so I was looking forward to it. Great. I hear from them. Hey, are you available this day? I said, oh, you know what? I'm not. I had no availability that particular day. So I replied and said, hey, I have this time on this day, and then literally all day the following 2 days. So I gave them a solid, let's say, 20 hours of availability over the course of 2.5 days. Radio silence since then. Now, look, it could be something came up. It could be they found somebody else. Could be that they're not hiring right now. I don't know. And that's the problem. Now, this is an email conversation, so it's not as if this person had to pick up the phone and call me. It's all done through email. So all they needed to say, even if they didn't get back to me like right then and there, I'm not expecting that. You're a busy person. I get it. I respect that. If you got back to me the next day and said, look, thanks, I'll look into it and get back to you. End of email. It just timed it. 3.1 seconds. I didn't really time it. Just guessing. But is that going to kill your whole day? I don't think so, right? No. If you had an interest, there's no reason for me to believe that you no longer do because I just don't know. You haven't told me. How am I supposed to know? Should I assume? No. I got to stop doing that too. I think I've done that twice now. No. I mean, what is that? Why don't I just stick with no? Asshole. Assuming's not right for anybody. I did that often with women and never really worked out. I still do that. Make assumptions. Probably with my wife. Not really. I do, but as I've aged, I've figured some shit out. But, I'm very self-aware, so I know my limitations. I know my, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I don't know what the word is. Couldn't tell you. Thought I had it on the script. I don't. So I'm just, going off the page here, and it's not coming out very well. Boy. Not a good bit, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, it happened a lot with women, and so I started to learn because it happened a lot. So please feel bad for me. But I just never understood the whole not replying. You can be kind. It's thoughtful. If this person got back to me and said that they would think about it, that's a relief. To me, it says, okay, they think enough of me that they're going to think about it. That's good enough. I'll take that all day. And really, you can go in multiple different directions there. But, so that's it. That's 3 gripes. All good stuff today. Not really, but still. And it wasn't jam-packed either. I fucking lied right off the top. I got off to a bad start. I said it was jam-packed. It wasn't really jam-packed. I would love it to be jam-packed, but I'm thinking about ways to market the program. And there are a number of different things that are sort of brewing in my head, if you will. None of it very good, but that's sort of the nature of the program. Not very good. Now, see, that's a t-shirt right there. Not very good. That's all it says. Yellow T, and then in like black lettering. Not very good. On the back, got the logo. If you're interested, let me know. We'll come up with something. But thank you as always for indulging me for a bit here. Hopefully I haven't ruined your holiday weekend. Again, remember that you can be part of the show. Leave a voice message. You'll find that link at the bottom of each show page. You can also send me an email, showmail. It's not 3 show mails. It's just 1 show mail, one word, at complaintsandobservations.com. Check out the revised Twitter page. I have fixed the name of the Twitter page. Again, that same person who told, well, it wasn't the same person. Same sort of conversation with the person who said that women wouldn't listen to my show. I'm not naming that person, Jeff. Fuck you. There was another conversation was that the Twitter page handle sucked. So I changed it. It's now Complaints Pod. At Complaints Pod. Leaves out the observation part, which personally I think is the best part. I've got 30,000 fucking observations that I've written down that I'm going to get to at some point over the course of the history of this program. Episode 6. I mean, six episodes in the can? Whew. Man, I've committed to one thing my whole life, longer than this, and that's my wife. That's it. And I'm sure that'll end at some point. She'll figure shit out. She's smart. She'll figure it out. But that was, wow. She's not going to like that. But that's okay. I love you, dear. What else? The Instagram page, check that out. The blog on the website, complaintsandobservations.com, which I'm thinking I may turn into some kind of AV feature for my YouTube channel. See, I'm doing it's a very expansive empire here, digitally. It's just that no one's looking at it. That includes this. That's fine. You got to start somewhere, you know? Nothing wrong with a little hard work, a little elbow grease, a little luck. You know? That's what I need. A little luck. Not really. It's just whatever. But I may turn that into some sort of AV feature. I haven't decided how to do it. Maybe like a voiceover with pictures or something. Like read. So I'll have the blog, post it, and then read it on the YouTube channel. If you think that sucks, let me know. If you think it's good, let me know. If you have another idea, let me know. You'll get no credit for it, but let me know anyway. But as always, tell your friends, tell your family, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, children, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, people that you run into at the grocery store with your mask on. Please wear a mask in public. And but tell your friends. And Godspeed. Ta-ta.